everybody, welcome to Scrub Pythons 2.0. I started this video series about a year ago. Gotten a little lax lately, just been way too busy to keep cutting out videos. But something like my second or third video, I featured Scrub Pythons. Scrub Pythons over the last couple of years have become unbelievably popular, and I've been pushing my supplier to get as many as he can. It's still not that many. The supply will never meet the demand, but anyway, I have a really nice diverse group of animals. The last shipment, the most recent shipment in particular, was really interesting, and I've been holding some stuff back as well. So I figured, it's time to do another Scrub Python episode. That previous episode was very popular, has a lot of views, and I know a lot of people are going back and watching it. So hey, let's do another one. Anyway, I don't know if any of you guys remember this animal. This was a wild caught that I've had for, I think about 3 or 4 years now. And it has grown a lot. It's a big guy, really nice, pleasant demeanor. And it's just been a real joy to work with here. Now, when he first came in, he was more of a yellow color. He's getting old now, so his colors aren't quite as bright as they were. He had a lot of the yellow ventral bands, like the Highland animals, and it was much more apparent when he was a lot younger. And I'll throw a photo up there just for reference. So a lot of that is gone now. The exact locality on this animal, I really have no idea. When I saw him when he first came, basically just calling him like a Highland type, but really nice animal. So anyway, I figure the way we're going to do it, we're going to start big and we're going to work our way down to the small stuff. So anyway, that's the first one. It's a big boy. Let's see if I can point his nose in the right direction. There we go. And he has a bit of a dorsal stripe here. Also, it was much more apparent when he was younger, but really cool. It's very nice when you have scrub pythons that you can actually take out and interact with. There's a lot of them that I have that I can do that with, and of course there's some that I cannot. He just so happens to be one of the ones that I can. So up here I have another one. This was a wild caught female. It's a Gapura. She has also a really good demeanor. And the thing that was really odd about her was that she has 2 different colored eyes. I thought that was really strange. On this side, her eye is just sort of a normal brown color. But when you flip her around to the other side, her eye is super dark, kind of unique. But this also is your classic barneck Gapura. It's a nice girl that's been here for some time now. It's kind of weird. She started feeding on rats right away, acclimated very fast, started feeding on rats, and then all of a sudden she decided she didn't want to eat rats. So I offered her some frozen thawed chicks and quail, and that's what she wants to eat now. So, here at DM Exotics, I have a lot of snakes that eat a lot of different types of food, so that actually is no problem for me. I have a whole freezer full of chicks and quail, but that's what she's eating now, so it's no problem. Alright, let's move on down the line here. This next animal that I'm going to show you, this is a Sarong type. This one was hatched here, and a lot of that clutch ended up having real pleasant demeanor. This one's really pretty. Has a nice gold cast to it and a reduced pattern. Really pretty snake. So a lot of the bars on the across the back there are muted and they're faded out. But of course it still has that classic barneck banding there behind the head. But magnificent animal, really nice. So that's going to be a Sarong type. Pretty much classic Sarong, or at least what the hobby refers to as Sarong. And a nice demeanor. Again, big plus. Big plus. I usually keep this guy in a bigger cage, but I moved him down here to this tub just so it'd be a lot easier for me to just kind of go in and start grabbing stuff. And we can move through the video a lot faster that way. So this next animal is really interesting, and it kind of brings up a bit of a sore spot, I guess you could kind of say. The hobby, we have labels for all these things, so I have to, when I'm talking to hobbyists here, I have to sort of refer to animals one way, and then when I'm doing my business and I'm doing things overseas, I have to refer to those same animals as something else. These were collected on Ambon. It's something that the hobby refers to as Moluccan, but if you look at a map, the Moluccan island chain is gigantic. Actually even includes other islands and other localities that the hobby uses, so it's kind of confusing. So when I know if I know the location that an animal was collected from, that's what I'm going to call it. So it is class Lepis, but this one was collected from Ambon. Very, very beautiful animal. And this one is not as handleable as the other ones, but very, very beautiful. Nice yellow color. Now back in the day, I used to see Moluccans or class Lepis at the importer houses quite often in the late 80s, and the animals were all beautiful yellow color, and the animals have become much far and few between, and they seem to be getting darker, and to find the real nice yellow animals seems to be getting more rare and more rare. Obviously the animals come from a pretty good sized range, and they're being collected from other areas within that range. The animals must be a little bit darker. So he's starting to track on me a little bit here. Actually, this is a female. But anyway, got these animals in, and I feel like it was kind of a rare thing to get animals like this. Very rarely see these. Yes, I know. I never mess with these animals. So they're like they're not used to being pulled out and held like that. So that's an Ambon. That's class Lepis. Let's see, what else can we do here? We've got some. This is a Gapura, another of the barneck type. This one would be a Gapura, and this one has a very muted pattern. Not quite patternless, but it's very muted. Now it looks like it might be a little bit dark, so it might be going into a shed here, but I haven't had this animal out in a while. It's actually grown quite a bit. So this one's just kind of a muted pattern. It's sort of semi-patternless, I guess you could say. But this one's real pretty. Had this one for a while. It's actually, I think it was probably less than half this size when it first arrived here. So it's doing real well. And it's kind of another one of the oddities here. There's quite a few odd animals here. And they really stand out to me when I'm unpacking animals from a shipment, and they're kind of interesting. But so very different. There is pattern there. Just not really following any sort of banding or anything. So that's another kind of oddball here. And then this one here, this is another animal that I would refer to as a muted pattern Gapura type. Now this one has the real nice bar neck there, and you can see more of the classic banding on this animal right here. But I would refer to this one as kind of just like a muted pattern Gapura type animal. And I'm not super familiar with these guys. That's actually the first time I've ever interacted with this animal since it arrived. So just kind of let them come in and settle and do their thing. Let them feed and all that. So that's another interesting one right there. Then this one, this is more of a classic Gapura. I held this one back because of the real nice gold color. This one is just basically, you know, your classic bar neck type. Not the Sarong type. The Sarong type seem to have heavier banding with more spacing in between the bands. And this one is what I call a Gapura. Has the little portholes here along the side. Real pretty. It's getting a little bit dark. It looks like it's going to be going into shed. So it's not as gold as it normally is. But just another one of the grow outs. This one's been here for a while. And this one here, this is another Gapura. This guy doesn't like me or anybody else for that matter, but real nice color. Come on, let go of your height. And again, this is the first time that I've interacted with this guy too, but just a real nice classic Gapura. Nice bar neck and that sort of thing. I tried, you know, I have this guy strategically placed off to the side because he strikes at anything that goes by. So I try to move him and keep him out of the way so he doesn't do any damage to his nose. Got nice hide boxes in there, and it's been working. You know, I try to leave all interaction to a minimum, and I'm not out here that often, so it's actually okay. All right, what else? Got some really interesting southerns, Maroke animals, and they've all been actually pretty mild-mannered. This one in particular, this is the best one of the bunch in my opinion for at least being different. This is a 100% patternless animal right here. And again, this is the first time that I've taken this animal out and interacted with it. But when you talk about, you know, patternless, this is truly patternless. It's not a real happy camper, but you know, what do you expect? This is the first time that he's been out, so it's pretty cool. Very, very different. I was really surprised to see that when I unpacked that shipment. This one in here is a striped southern, and I might be wrong, but to my memory, I believe these animals were actually not super bad to deal with. So yeah, these guys are pretty cool. And again, I haven't interacted much with this one also, but really cool striped animal right here. Cool striping on the side, down along the side there. Nice prominent stripe, and down the back. It's really nice. Don't see anything like this very often at all. It's a very nice animal. All right, I'll let you go back if you want to. There you go. Patternless. It's another stripy one. That one hasn't shed yet, so I'm just going to leave it alone. But Again, it's real nice. Has a lot of nice striping along the back. Very similar to that other animal, and that's actually probably would be a real nice complementary pair. Have a couple of striped animals together there. Now this animal right here, this is almost patternless. It's just about there. It just has a little, very faint remnants of a stripe going down the back that starts maybe about right here. I see it starting, and then this is a female. This would complement that 100% patternless male. It'd be a really nice pairing. So, also just really weird, real odd batch of animals there. These other guys, these are a Highland type, and they're pretty cool. This one's been here with me for quite some time, and it was really small when it first came here. Now these guys have those yellow ventral bands, which is pretty much, you know, the marker that everybody uses to identify the oxbill animals, the Highland animals. I know where this animal was collected. It was not collected as far north as oxbill, but basically at the base of that mountain range. It's the Tanamera or Bovin de Gaulle Regency. So some really unique animals coming out of there. That's where those tame black white-lipped pythons are also coming from. So every so often, one of these will pop up. I really like these. They're so beautiful. So this little one is a girl, and it took me quite some time to actually obtain a pair. But I did get a really nice male, a little bit bigger in size, but has a lot more of the gold dorsal color to it here. So we got those same yellow ventral hash marks, but now up top have a much more gold coloration, which is nice. So that's a real nice pair right there. So I was really happy to be able to finally match them up. And again, collected from the same place, Tanamera or Bovin de Gaulle Regency. So just a Highland type. So super pretty animal. Real pleasure to be able to watch these guys grow up. So we're making our way down in size. This next one is also a real strange one. I can't really match it up to any particular locality that I'm aware of. At first, based on the dorsal pattern, I thought maybe it was one of the Highland type, but it doesn't have any of those yellow hash marks. It is a very, very unique looking animal up top. It's beautiful. Very, very busy pattern. I really have no idea what locality this animal is. Has a very nice demeanor, but a very strange looking animal. So it's very interesting. I really have no idea what it is. I would basically just call this animal a southern just because I don't know what it is, but it's very different. And it could just be a pattern variant and color also. So color is different. It seems to be getting brighter and brighter as it grows with every shed. This animal's been here for about 6 months now. When it came, it was very, very small. So that's, you know, the diversity of these animals is pretty amazing. There's a lot of stuff out there, a lot of different appearances. there are natural occurring color phases, pattern phases, and a lot of the locality information is just it's just a complete mystery. So it's good stuff. The next one's here. I have some little hatchlings. This one's in blue, but feeding really well, and then they're growing really fast. These, in my opinion, are the product of a couple of different clutches just because of the size difference. Now these two started feeding straight away, so they've put on size a little bit faster. They haven't been here that long. They've been here about, I think about 5 weeks now. And then I got some other ones here that they have fed, but they're a lot smaller. Now all the scrub pythons, when they're small, they have that nice red coloration. And a lot of times the banding and the pattern and stuff is not apparent at all. It takes some time for that to go ahead and show up. And then sometimes it doesn't. It's very difficult to see exactly what you're going to end up with getting, as an adult. Like this one right here this one has almost no pattern to it at all. So whether that animal ends up developing pattern as it grows, or it ends up being a patternless animal, I have no idea. But it's certainly going to be interesting. And to get these little guys this small, I mean, this is very, very rare. And these guys were hatched in captivity in Indonesia, but as far as lineage and that, I really have no idea. Worst case scenario, you end up with, a baby captive hatch scrub python, and anything beyond that is a bonus. You end up with some different type of localities and things. It's awesome. I would be stoked to, for anybody that ends up picking these animals up, grow them up. It's kind of, you really don't know what you're going to get. So anyway, so that's Scrub Pythons 2.0. I hope you enjoyed that. Trying to bring a lot of diversity, back into the hobby. These videos, I realize they are not the most popular. I'm not the most popular. I don't work with all the mainstream stuff. Obviously, that's where all the attention is going. Those other guys, they're just cramming that stuff down your throat, just maximum exposure. And if you like that, good. That's great. Obviously, you look at the stats, people love that. You want something a little bit different, come to me, watch these videos. I work with what I like. I don't really care what anybody else is doing. I just do what I like, and I've always been that way. So anyway, scrub pythons. I'm having a really good time working with these. Had a lot of luck being able to pull in a good amount of animals. It's been a real interesting. The latter part of last year was interesting, and this year, even though it's still early, I'm off to a really good start with these animals. The export quotas have been reduced to approximately 1/3 of what they were last year. So you're already looking at a smaller number for an export quota. Indonesia has also finally recognized and broken up their scrub python complex into a couple of different species. So that takes more bites out of that smaller quota. So the quota is a lot smaller. Whether or not it affects how many animals that I'm able to bring in, I'm not sure, because we weren't even coming close to the quota. The animals just aren't available in those kind of numbers. But anyway, if you're interested in anything like that, hit me up. I have limited amounts of animals that come in every once in a while. I don't flip them out of the crate. I don't just open boxes and go from one bag to another and ship them to you. I really enjoy working with them, so they come here and they sit. And I get them feeding and get them shed out and that sort of thing. And I like what I do. So if you're looking for some quality, hit me up. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you again real soon. Take care.